Why are retirees so happy? You ever wonder that? I think I know the answer. Because the evidence is overwhelming. The vast majority of retirees are content. And content, is that truly happy? I'd say so. Are they lacking? Like, oh man, I wish I had this. Probably. We all have that. I wish I had this, I wish I had that. But they're content. And my conclusion is, after talking to thousands of people over my career, is actually quite simple. The older you get, the more content you become. One of those has to do with having no debt, I'll tell you right now. Not having a mortgage. That's a big deal. And again, if you look at my book, Relax and Retire, we say, I think it's like 80% of homeowners over the age of 65 or something like that have their home paid for free and clear. I think that's a big deal. But I think it's more than just financial. I hope this y'all can hear this. You know, I got these iPod things right here in my ear. They're supposed to be to capture my voice better. I'm not sure it does. People say the volume's too low. I just turned it up a little bit, but be that as it may, I'm just gonna ramble here a little bit while I'm going for my morning walk. 5 miles, try to do 5 miles a day. I was actually kind of, not depressed, but upset because I was playing ball with Liam about 3-4 weeks ago, and probably about 2 months ago, and I hurt something in my lower back. And I'm 53 now. I said, man, I'm too young to not be able to play basketball. And I was having a hard time even walking without kind of pain. I was like, this is gonna suck. So basically, I was doing some squats. So basically, I said, all right, let me just, see how this shakes out. And I was doing some squats, not even a heavy weight. I think it was only like 185 or something like that. And I must have done something because it really yanked it and it hurt like hell. I was like, damn. Anyway, so I've given it about a month. I haven't played basketball for a month. And I'm not doing any more squats. Obviously, it's your form, it may be, but that's the same form I've been using for a long time. I didn't even have heavy weight on there. I was like, anyway, so I was kind of, again, not depressed. I was kind of upset because I said, man, I like playing basketball. I like doing squats. If I can't do squats again, that doesn't bother me so much, but it would bother me if I can't play basketball or even just go on walks. So I gave it about a 2-week rest with no walking, and certainly I haven't played basketball in a month, and certainly no squats. It feels a lot better, man. It feels a lot better. So I'll probably never go back to doing squats again because obviously something in there is telling me don't do any more squats. But I was doing deadlifts yesterday, a decent weight. I think at 205. My back feels great. My lower back feels great. I'm not walking with any kind of gimp or limp. Not quite sure I'm ready to play basketball again, but I give this another couple weeks. I think it might be back. But anyway, I just remember thinking, man, this sucks getting old where you can't do the things that you like to do. But I think what happens as you get older, you just recognize there are, you go through these phases like, well, I'm just getting older. That's okay. Anyway, it still stinks. You're like, oh man. But I think you just get accustomed to it. You adjust. In the Army, we say you adapt and you overcome. So you say, I don't have the physical capacity to do that anymore. I'm going to do something else. In economics, we call that the substitution effect. Ground beef's too expensive, so I'll buy some chicken. Chicken's too expensive, so I'll buy some noodles, something like that. That's a substitution effect. Now it's applicable here. It hurts to do squats, I'll do something else. I'll do lunges, for instance, with dumbbells as opposed to squat rack with bar. But I think as you get older, you just recognize that you were able to survive a lot of stuff that you before thought was going to take you down. I'm telling you, man. We always look with rose-colored glasses on the old days. Like, I still remember when it was just me and Charlotte and Maddie and Chloe before we had the boys, living in Dayton, Virginia. We went down to Roanoke to see My Little Pony. There's like a My Little Pony play kind of thing in Roanoke, Virginia. And that was, we didn't have any money, man. I just remember driving down there I don't know. It was like, that was a big deal because we had no money, nothing. It wasn't that expensive to go, but when you got no money, I just remember And it wasn't depressing, but it's scary. Like, what happens if? What happens if? What happens if? But then you get older and you survive that stuff. And you're like, all the stuff I was worried about didn't happen. Or it did happen, but I'm still here. I survived it. And you're like, there's something to be said about that, about experiencing this thing. You know, I've gone through this before and I survived. You know what I'm saying? It's the survival will allow you to realize that the fears you had were overblown. And also, as you get older, you start saying, hey, it's been a good life, man. If the good Lord takes me out today, it's been a good life. Now, I'm not ready to go at 53. You know, obviously, I don't know what my end date is, but I've had a good life. I think a lot of people are like that. They say, they look around, and I've raised kids, or I haven't. You know, I've gone to all the vacations I want to do, or I haven't. But I've you know, read my books, or I mean, just anything, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So I've had a pretty good life. It's been good. All the things I thought were going to take me out, I survived. And I'm proud of myself because it didn't harm me. To the extent where I was able to be putting 6 feet in the ground, and I'm still here. I just think as you get older, the things that worried you before, you just don't worry about it anymore. Like, it's just no big deal. One of the reasons I think having an annuity, frankly, annuity income, is that the guarantee, like every month I wake up, I got a paycheck coming in. You don't have to worry about the markets. I got the money coming in. The money will roll right in. Bo 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 bo. Anyone know that song? That's an old 1980s punk song. Anyone know? I'm going to all night wars, and they'll say that I was so good. I won't care how you feel, and I won't say the rest because it's vulgar, but it's kind of funny. And I'll just sit and grin. The money will roll right in. Boom. It's all called Fang, by the way. Fang. You can look it up from, I think it's like 84. There's another song they do. Skinheads smoke dope. Oh man, old punk rock was kind of silly but fun at the same time. Anyways, that was like 1985, 84. Man, that's a long time ago, dudes. Man, that's like 40 freaking years. That's what I'm saying. 40 years ago. 40 years ago. You see what I'm saying? And you're like, here I am today. All that crap I put my body through 40 years ago, here I am. Surviving and profiling. And I'm just, I'm only 53. And I got 4 kids. 2 are out. 2 are going to be out here soon. And then just like you relax. All the stuff that worried you. Now, do I worry about my kids driving? Yeah. Do I worry about punks out there punking my kids? Absolutely. I worry about my kids. You know, but at the end of the day, you also say they're adults. They choose their path. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to guide them if they take kindly to my guidance, but I didn't take kindly to my parents' guidance, I'll tell you that right now, for the good or for the bad. But here I am. I survived. And once you survive long enough, you start realizing, oh, this new stuff, I've been here before. I crushed it. I crushed my enemies at my feet. And as such, you're like, what are you going to do? I'm going to panic? Nah. Just get by another day. Just like I always have. Survived for all this long. The good Lord calls me home. I'm good with that. That's why retirees are happy. Love to hear your thoughts, man. Tell me what your parents, you've seen in your parents yourself. You know, what have you seen as you got older? Are you becoming more content? Less content? What do you see your parents? I'd like to hear it. Put in the comments. See ya.